Match number 5 was a rare women's match in pro wrestling. No, it doesn't happen often. It's been happening more over the last 2 years or so than ever, but it's still considered a spectacle more than not. I thought the fans responded good to this. I'm talking about, I think they were calling them Team Noah, even though they're from Marvelous Wrestling. I've never watched that. I'm familiar with some of their wrestlers, but I've never watched their programming. I'm familiar with them when they've come to Stardom, which I watch regularly. But this was the Great Muta's granddaughter. I believe I said daughter in the preview. It's his granddaughter, kayfabe, but come on, play along. Let's not be assholes. Great Sakuya teaming with Takase Miyuki and Sandra Moone and Takumi Iroha. Forgive me if I butchered any of them. They took on Bozilla, who I'm very familiar with. She's incredible, super young, super huge without being really fat, and unbelievably powerful. Kizuna, Tanaka, Kayoki Amari, and Miku Aona. All right. I am very familiar with Takumi Iroha, and that's who won this. I mean, let's just cut to the chase. She won the match. She pinned the super youngster from Team Marigold. I'm trying to see if I can even remember her name. I think it's Kayoki Amari, I think. Guys, I'm just starting to watch Marigold. Give me some slack, lots of slack while I learn their names. I've got a long way to go. This match was pretty good. There were a moment or two where it looked like they had to slow down to get back in sync, if you know what I mean. That's why I like matches when they're called in the ring, which hardly ever happens anymore. But this stuff where they, go over it beforehand ad nauseum, gets a little old sometimes because they can lose their place and you can see them trying to catch it back. And that happened once or twice. It didn't ruin it. It was a good match. I liked it. But I'm just not a big fan of when that happens. It sort of takes me out of the moment, snaps me back into reality that I'm watching wrestling and not a real sports combat competition. And I know some of you are rolling your eyes, laughing at that, thinking, what's this guy talking about? Yeah, I lose myself in wrestling. I like to. No is a company where you can do that, where you can believe it's real while you're watching. You really can. Just like when you watch a movie or TV show, you believe. Me and my wife just watched the movie Twisters, the sequel, not really a sequel, but the second movie after Twister that was out, 20 years ago or at least. It was good. It was really over the top with the idea that you could destroy a hurricane from within with certain chemicals and stuff. But it worked for the story, and you believed it while you were watching it. When it's over, there's no such thing. But while you're watching it, it's like, ooh, you're rooting for the female scientist to get her shit together and stop this hurricane with her chemicals, right? You're wanting to see that. You're believing it's possible because it just sucks you in and makes it enjoyable. And that's what wrestling does. And when they have these little moments, and believe me, when you see this, you may not even catch it. It wasn't that bad. But I'm so disciplined and watching wrestling closely that I've been doing for almost 50 years that I can't miss things like that. And I'm not insulting this match by saying that. I'm just pointing it out. I thought Sandra Moone got a lot of attention here, and she seems fine. She doesn't seem anything spectacular to me. I wanted to see more Bozilla. Now, she caught the mist from Sakuya, the great Sakuya, who I like. I like her. But she didn't wrestle enough for me to get a feel for how good she is or isn't. She's got the Muta antics down pretty good. Muta's one of my all-time favorites. The Great Muta, possibly my all-time favorite. Definitely top 2 or 3. And so I'm very familiar with him. She doesn't seem on his skill level. But again, I didn't get to see her work enough. She wasn't in the ring enough here. There's 8 people that have to get their shit in, right? She got the top rope stuff in. I think she did a moonsault. And she got the mist in, which is all they're worried about. That's Muta's 2 big spots, right? So we got to see that. But Team Noah, or Team Marvelous, if you will, won this matchup whenever it was Iroha who got the victory. Again, like I said, I believe it was on the youngster from the Marigold team. I like how Mark and Stu put her over and said if any of these women fit in the Noah style, it's her. That's probably true, although I would argue that Bozilla would probably fit in the Noah style as well. But this match was decent. Again, far from my favorite, but I did not dislike it. It was enjoyable, and I appreciated it. And I want to see more of Great Sakuya to see if she's legit or not. Can someone tell me? What are your thoughts? She the real deal in the ring? She wasn't in there enough for me to tell. She really wasn't. I like the gimmick, though. I do.